Okay, guys, welcome to another edition of Welcome Home with the Cartwrights. I'm your host, Chris Cartwright. This is your other host, co-host, whatever you want to be called.
I think co-host is pretty good.
Co-host? You like co-host?
Yeah,
okay, this is Erin Cartwright, my lovely wife, our partner. She's working on the team. She's doing everything. She's absolutely killing it. We are overly excited. We've got Rav Toor here. Rav, like this, we were just talking about it. 10 years, maybe we saw each other at the office once. Super excited to have you on the show. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
My pleasure, man.
Yeah.
It's so nice to see you guys.
Yeah. Nice to see you too. We were like spry young 30-year-olds last time.
Oh,
yes. Well, I had the privilege of marrying you guys.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I think that was the last, official wedding that I did.
Was it really? And that's what I was going to ask you. Like, what, was that your last one? And how many were you doing before that? And
no, I mean, it's
how
just...
did we do at the wedding? Other than the dustiness at the wedding.
No. You were amazing. You balled your head off when your beautiful bride was coming down.
That was tough.
But it was beautiful. You guys have amazing friends. It was a great venue.
Yeah, it was.
It was a great day.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And it's really been a decade, eh?
Yeah, it's
That's
crazy.
crazy.
And you're still with him.
I've figured out a way to... Yeah.
You are she's the definition of a God's grace.
Two kids. We just got a puppy.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
now we're
I
puppy
saw.
Parents.
I saw online.
So we're on mat leave she's on mat leave.
I'm on puppy mat leave, yeah.
And we're getting a little sleep. Actually, you slept through the night last night. But,
it's amazing how excited you get for poos and peas.
Oh man.
Way to go, Tyson. Oh my God.
I used to make fun of my dad because they would be like, "Oh, he peed twice and he pooed." And I'm like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah.
Now we're like very excited for it.
Thank you. Now I can go to sleep.
Yeah.
But I wanted to talk, obviously I want to really focus on what you're currently doing, but I want to kind of talk about how you got there, like where you started. And I know it was very early, like super early. No one probably would even believe it, how early you started kind of in real estate and investing. I believe it was at the age of 16.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you've done a lot of things and I don't want to, I know we've only got an hour and it would take a long time to go through everything you've done.
Yeah.
But I want to kind of go through
the
highlights and the main points. And I really want to end it off with your current amazing project that you're involved in.
Yeah.
So you started off, 16, you bought, you tell the story, but I think you bought a house. You bought your first house.
So first of all, I don't consider myself a great guest on podcasts and TV and so on and so forth because it's kind of like, who cares? I want to be with the Cartwrights. I want to hang out with you.
Well,
let's go grab a lunch and a beer and so on and so forth. But for friends that say, Rav, just come, let's just shoot the shoot. Here we are. So I began between the union of an ovum and a sperm, and I've made little progress since, I think. 1971, Kingston, Ontario, born and raised. I'm 49 years old. And I don't know. I mean, mom and dad divorced when I was 5 or 6 and love dad so much. The start of my 2020, January 1st, my dad passed suddenly. And so that really rocked our world. He was a few days to 78 years old. And we don't want to think about the average lifespan in Canada, but that's what it is, 80 years old, right? So love him so much. And most important thing in life is relationships and family.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It is.
And you don't need money to enjoy that.
Nope.
Right? But that being said, I just grew up very pragmatic, very practical. If it didn't make sense, I didn't like it.
Yep.
And so they asked me to leave every high school I went to. So I really did get kicked out of like 4 high schools in a small town of Kingston, Ontario.
Yeah.
But they had this thing, and I think they still do, co-op.
Okay, yeah.
So they threw me in at the age of 16 into the largest real estate brokerage in Kingston.
And what was that? What was it?
Pratt and Murray.
Okay.
Yeah, Bill Murray, not the actor, but his name was Bill
Yep.
Murray, Pratt and Murray in Kingston. And so I would shadow agents, and that's what I would do in high school. I would shadow and learn and contract law. And back then, I mean, it was the big legal papers and the listings. Like they would just sit in an office and they would pass out all the listings and talk about all the listings. There's no internet. There's no cell phone. There's, and we've got it easy now, you know. In terms of the technicality, you still have
There's still a lot of work.
No one's a Cartwright. No one's a Cartwright. That's very hard. Only God can give us Cartwright ability. But so that's what happened. And then so we, single mom, my greatest hero, and my sister, who was 2 years younger, we bought a townhouse and then moved to Toronto not that far after. And I was in charge of being the landlord at 16 years old.
Wow.
So you rented it out?
Rented it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you rented it, this was in Kingston?
Yeah.
And then you moved to Toronto?
Then I moved to Toronto.
So at 16, hold on. At 16, you're in charge of, you're the landlord. So you're dealing with the tenants.
Yeah.
Wow.
No way.
Yeah, I mean, this little Indian woman that's came here and she's a nurse and working nights so she could be with her kids in the mornings and evenings, and we'd have some college, woman staying at our house for free as long as she was there from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. while my mom didn't know all the stuff, but I was learning it through the brokerage.
That's it.
So yeah, Brother Rav was a landlord at 16 years old, and I took care of all these things, and
because the average age right now is probably, even now I'm sure it's even older, but you got to think 25, maybe 30. You kind of get your feet wet.
Yeah.
I just think about myself at age of 16. I was, riding my bike around with buddies, causing problems, right?
Yeah.
Like just adventuring around Newmarket, not being a landlord.
It's
amazing.
It's interesting though. Like I'm very protective of loved ones.
Yeah.
Like you guys, and I I had to be the man of the house quite quickly, right?
Yeah.
My mom, who works so hard, and I didn't miss a beat. I mean, she said, okay, I'm going to make sure that my kids don't feel like there's no dad around. So she was not only maternal, but she was also paternal, right?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And to the best that she could, but I had to grow up quick and take care of mom because, there's not too many brown people in Kingston, Ontario. And, she could get taken advantage of, not because she's brown, but just because she's a single mom.
Single mom,
oh yeah, you need a new carburetor in the car, really? You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just there's not everybody is a Cartwright. Not everybody are great people and sincere.
We did not pay him for this.
Absolutely not.
But so I just had to.
Yeah.
I just had to.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was I like the challenge of making money too.
Yeah.
I want to make money. I'm 16. I want to become a billionaire at 17.
Oh yeah, of course. That's
the kind of gig.
Yeah.
So I always knew I wanted to do real estate. Always. Then.
So now you're in Toronto.
So then I'm in Toronto. I don't know why. Why did we go to Toronto? So my mom and sister went to India, and then my dad was in Toronto, and I came up here for a while. And what happened was Flash, the TV show Flash.
Yeah.
Dr. Wells, his good friend Tom Cavanaugh, and I didn't know there's acting. I thought some guy picks you on the street and says, "Hey, you want to be in this movie?" But he told me, you get an agent, you do this, you do that. Because I met Sinead, this beautiful little girl with a sexy little accent from Belfast, Ireland, who came to Kingston, Ontario when she was 10.
Yeah.
And so I saw her when she was 14 and I was 15. Could you imagine Rav Toor picking up your daughter when she's 14? So anyways.
He's a landlord. He's an investor at that point.
Exactly. And so she was big into drama.
Yeah.
So I got into that. So then I started doing some acting in Toronto. I had an agent.
So interesting. That's how your acting career started.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you were in a few movies. Like you did a lot.
I did about 30 speaking roles in different film and TV, and still audition here and there.
Yeah.
And, it's great now because of COVID. I get to audition at home and then just send in the, instead of driving downtown.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then fell in love with, then in the early 20s, like we all do, we go on our spiritual search.
Yes.
And I studied all different faiths, and I landed on just seeing the walk of a guy named Jesus and the way that he walked, the selflessness, the humility, the non-judgment, and I loved it. It was my passion. It is my passion still. Mm-hmm. And so I became a minister and hence got to marry the Cartwrights. You know,
and we are so happy for that.
We watched the video with the kids
on our 10-year
anniversary. This year it was COVID, so we actually did a whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, she got in her wedding dress. Well,
I tried to.
And I set up like this whole thing in the basement. The kids helped me out. We had candles, and then
that's so beautiful.
It was awesome.
So
but
beautiful.
I had candles, actual candles going down the stairs like flames. So Quinn is freaking out because she knows she's wearing the dress. So Quinn's running upstairs. She's running downstairs.
Because I'm trying to surprise him.
She's surprising me. So we don't know. Either of us don't know.
So the dress doesn't fit you, Mommy. We need to put on a different dress. And I'm like, no, I'm going to make it work.
Quinn's trying.
What do you mean? It was too loose?
It was too small.
No. But Quinn was doing it because she's worried it's going to catch on fire. Right, so Quinn's thinking it's going to catch on fire because I got candles all the way.
Fire extinguisher and the whole.
Oh yeah, like so we did that. It was beautiful. It was awesome. We all cried, and then we watched the video.
Yeah,
that's great.
And we were talking about. We were telling the kids about you and everything. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was a lot
really
of
good.
fun. Yeah. They were just like totally like blown away
by
it. Right?
Oh yeah, they want to watch it again.
That's beautiful. I love it. No, it was wonderful. I loved it. I loved everything.
Yeah.
The venue, the day, and so I have been blessed to be able to incorporate those three things my whole life.
Yeah.
Film and TV.
Yeah.
Spirituality.
Yep.
You know, we started. I started a little simplechurch.ca. Simple Church.
Yeah.
It's really love God, love people, and always been investing. Always been in the real estate game.
Yeah.
So I've been able to keep to those three things.
Yeah.
And
that's great.
One's my fun. The film and TV. One's my my food.
Yeah.
The real estate and the investing, and then the Christianity is my passion.
Yeah.
Right? So
that's great.
So the everyday investor, what's happening with that right now? So you guys,
we're on City
TV.
TV.
City TV.
We're doing
That's
that,
awesome.
and I'm doing CNN style.
Nice.
With COVID, you adapt, and but you can also innovate. Like I think it's the best thing now. I can have guests real time and remote.
Amazing.
And so I'm working on a CNN type show to be on.
So you're not going to be in studio.
No.
You're going to be kind of, like two of you on screen.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
At home,
That's right.
just talking, just, doing exactly what you would do at the show.
Yeah.
But you just sit at home.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I built a studio.
I get it.
My
Yeah.
camera guy comes in and blah blah. But my guests via just like CNN, Skype or Zoom or whatever they have. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, we still have to keep to the 22, 23 minutes because it's network.
Still gotta pay,
You know, so I'm doing that, and it's just solely. It's not about names. It's not about the big wigs.
Mm-hmm.
But you've had some pretty big guests on your show.
No, I have, but it's more important that they teach us an investment strategy.
Yeah.
So if it just happens to be a big wig like
Scott,
like Cartwright,
then
you teach a strategy, whether it's investing in flips, whether it's investing in mortgages, whether it's investing in rent to own, whether it's buy and hold, whether it's commercial, whether it's in. I'm getting it actually into stock options, which is a whole different thing. I never thought I would, and doing well with them. 3-4% a month. It's crazy.
Wow.
But that's a whole different topic. But 17th year. 2021 will be the 17th year of
congratulations on that. That's
doing that.
Really amazing.
Yeah,
it started. Is this just a play from when you were in Rogers? Remember when you had it's the same idea, right? When I remember when you were working here, like you owned Home Life, you had the show then, right?
Yeah. So I started in 2005.
Yeah.
I became I'm not a realtor anymore or a broker, but I was in 2004.
Yeah.
And then I have a buddy who, we love each other to death, but he didn't like realtors. Sorry. He didn't like the real estate agent business.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he wanted to bring exposure, and he knew I had a film and TV background, and I was a real estate broker. And I said, dude, you know me, I'm as candid as they come.
Yeah.
I think there's lots of lawyers out there, and some are good. I think there's lots of accountants, and some are good. I think there's lots of realtors, and only the Cartwrights are good. But I said I'll tell you the truth. And so he had me host the show, and then it evolved, and it was just credibility even for my brokerage. And then it wasn't just a real estate show where I was bringing in stagers and appraisers and home inspectors. And I morphed it into niched it into an investment show. Then it was called Real Investments. And then I wanted to make it even broader in investments. So everyday investor.
That's awesome. Yeah. You know what? It's absolutely amazing to see how it's evolved too. Because I remember watching the show. Because when I first met you, I was like, I'm going to look him up. Like, you were a great guy. And I'm like, I want to see this show on Rogers and how it's evolved to where now it's on City TV, or is it sponsored by City TV, or it's on City TV?
No, it's self-produced, right?
Yeah.
And so, Scott McGilvery, a friend, he gave me some great advice. He's like, Rav, when I do my shows, I hope for the best. I've got to create the shows, and then we need the advertising, and it could get canned. And so I have sponsors, but we actually pay for the airtime.
Yeah.
So I have sponsors that bring in, that give them money, and then I pay for the airtime. So it's mine. Like, nobody can. It airs.
Yeah,
no one can say it doesn't air.
Yeah.
And then I'm in control if I want ads or not ads. And, the secret is to make sure it's not nothing wrong with Dr. Ho, but we just make sure it's not infomercial-ish and it's just teaching. And that's what it is. We just
And I was watching it, and it
tool.
is. And it's really good. Just, very similar to the same idea, right? Yeah. It's not like, okay, let's talk about this. Yeah. Let's promote myself. It's really about teaching. Yeah. And I was watching a few episodes, obviously, leading up to this, because I wanted to. Yeah. I hadn't really watched the new segments. I always watched the older ones at the Rogers TV, and it might still be at Rogers TV.
Yeah.
But the new ones, it's obviously, I feel it's bigger, and you've gotten a larger scale here.
Yeah.
But I think it's awesome. Like, I really, really love it. Like, it's great.
I mean, you guys know this. I mean, you never sell. Right? It's I trust you guys, and therefore, because it's you, can you help me get in a home or an investment? And it's the same thing. If you're genuine and authentic, and you really want to teach and nurture and help, and the money comes later.
Yeah.
That's not. Who cares, right?
I think it's just like educating, and I know a lot too with you, like. Just to have a conversation last night, like, you want to educate your clients. You want to tell them, okay, kind of here's a situation. This is kind of what we're going with, because everybody has their own opinion, and everybody sees things how they want to see things, right? That's going to benefit them. But at the same time, you just have to kind of bring them back down to the same level and be like, okay, well, we could do this, we could do that. But at the end of the day, like, it's always what your clients want.
What they feel comfortable. That's what I've always.
You also just want to educate them and make sure they cover all their bases, right?
That's
so
it.
They know.
And I've learned a lot from my dad through real estate. Obviously, I started, and you're green in the business. I remember going on my first listing appointment. I was soaked. Like, I had no clue, and it was a friend of mine too. And I'm still like, I don't know what's going on. Now I go on. It's like, it's a natural thing. But my dad always taught me that. Give them let them know, but let them make their choice. They have to feel comfortable with it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
We're not here to pressure anyone.
No.
We're here to help them, guide them through their buying process or selling process.
Value.
Just add value.
Give value, add value, and you'll eat.
Yeah.
Now, you don't have to think about that.
Speaking of value, like, what out of all the shows and all the episodes, what have you learned the most? Like, what are you taking away from it? Like, what's your number one? You're like, okay, I got to do this, or you have to do this, or.
Yeah, I mean, so my philosophy in life is live simply, give generously, and always invest. And so I want people to live simple. Don't be you. Don't have to. What's great about COVID? We all are the Joneses now.
Oh yeah.
Right? It's equalized everything. It's like, hey, but just be authentic. There's nothing wrong with the fancy things.
No,
but it's nothing wrong with it. But it's just not me. I mean, I'm wearing my tuxedo right now.
We talked about that.
I drive an old Ford Escape.
Yeah.
My house is IKEA. My favorite store is Old Navy. Yeah. It's like, but that's just me. Be authentic. To who you are and how God's made you, and live simple. And that's how you're going to be able to make money. There's margin. You live simple. Give generously to the poor and needy and those that need. And
that's it.
And then invest the rest.
Yeah.
And so you asked me what's the biggest thing I learned is, and I was guilty of this for many years, is I make and I spend.
Yeah.
Right? And really, to me, that's the definition of being broke.
It is.
And it doesn't matter how much you make. If I make $1 million a year and spend $1 million a year, I'm broke.
Got nothing. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I think that's number one, that it's really hard for people to live simple and not change their way of life when they make more money.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because you just like, oh, I made more, so
I can spend more.
Spend more.
Yeah, my wife needs a car, so we'll get a second one. Or,
Yeah.
I work so hard, so I need the motorcycle. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with those things, but after you've done given generously, you
invested some, saved some.
Yeah.
That's funny because my dad, every day, that's his number one.
That is his motto, yeah.
He'll come into my office, sit down. Okay, listen, so what's going on? You've made some good money. Where have you put it? Where, are you saving?
Mikey,
are you doing this?
Mikey, I love him. I miss him so much. Is he in Florida or?
No. Oh, no.
He didn't go this year.
They're home for the winter.
Every day. Yeah. I would be at the beach bar right now. I would be golfing. I would be sitting by the pool. And I'm like, you're killing yourself. Yeah.
They're great.
Stop. They love the Florida, but their philosophy is exactly
He's
that.
always been
live simple.
He's amazing.
I think he bought a BMW once because he was always, even when he was younger, he wanted a BMW.
Yeah.
He got rid of it after, I think, a year and a half. He didn't. He was like, I just can't drive it.
And don't get me wrong. No judgment.
Oh, no.
No judgment. You're just asking me, what do I see out there? What kind of, that breaks my heart, but I just wish people would wake up to is the greatest things in life don't take much money.
No.
I sat around,
family.
Neighbors came over yesterday, 6 feet apart, around a fire, and there's, just going to come for an hour, and it was 4:30 we looked at the watch, it was 9:45. And,
good friends and conversation around a fire.
Oh,
honestly.
That's right. You know how much a cheap bottle of wine costs? Nothing, right?
No, absolutely.
And so you're so right. I mean, it doesn't cost much. So live simply, give generously, always invest. So number one, we've got to live simple. We really, really do. And then number two, I've realized, as much as I teach all the different strategies, people want to invest passively.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I don't blame them. Me too. I only invest, back in the day when I was here in the new market.
Yeah.
By the way, we got to change it to old market pretty soon, right? It's not that new. It's not that new. The new market.
It's not.
But when I was here, living here, and just I'm so blessed to be able to meet, people like you and haven't been here for a while. Joint venture, which is just a fancy word for partnerships. I would take people's money and do the work, and you split the profits 50-50, and you're in the grind. But now 49 years old, dude, I'm tired. There's anxiety. I miss my dad. There's all this kind of
life.
Just life in general.
Let's be real. Just life.
That's
right?
it. Absolutely.
And the worry, my son's turning 20. Samuel's turning 20
oh my God.
on Sunday.
Wow.
I don't know when this is airing,
I'm not.
Here we are.
That is crazy.
God. And my baby girl, 17, turning 30.
Boy.
And
That's
I've
gonna
got,
be us. We're gonna.
I got shotguns everywhere. I got. You better. You know what I mean? Who's she talking to? Who's that guy?
Oh yeah, and she's already like.
Quinn
I'm just
is
like
already
she's
like.
Preston, who I feel pretty comfortable with, but.
He's our cautious one.
Yeah.
Quinn's
absolutely.
Like, get out of my way, world. I'm coming for you.
She is.
So with anxiety, and then there's, it's raining, and I'm sad, and I'm like, what's going on here? What? And man, I don't have time to do the hustle and the grind, and so people are really just okay. Here's a few bucks, Rav. What's the return on investment?
Yeah.
Right. And if you can get them double-digit returns passively. That's pretty good, right? And so I try to really teach, things like that. And so I've realized I could teach someone how to flip a house. I could teach someone, how to buy, renovate, rent out, refinance, repeat. They call it the BRRRR strategy or whatever. I can teach all that, but at the end of the day, nobody has time to do that. And I'm happy they don't because, people get into investing to have more time to enjoy family, friends, purpose, right?
That's exactly.
But what happens is sometimes I feel like I'm doing an injustice because I make them busier and now they have 2 jobs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the whole philosophy of Everyday Investor is we all take our precious time, the 168 hours in a week, and we sleep some. We probably should be sleeping more. We take our time. We go to work. We make money so we can provide.
That's it.
We take our time.
Yep.
We go to work to make $1 so we can eat.
Yep.
But imagine if money could make you money so you could work a little less and have more time for the things that matter most. Yeah. And that's the philosophy of Everyday Investor. But I know I've created some Frankensteins out there that are like, oh, this is awesome. And I'm like, yeah, but you have 2 jobs now. You have your day job because, cash flow to me is overrated. I think you're never going to have enough cash flow, rarely, to be able to quit your day job. So instead, just try to keep growing your capital, and then one day you put it into something that spits you out cash flow.
That's
right?
it. Exactly. Exactly. Let's take a quick break. Is that cool, guys?
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
And then we'll get back into it. Okay,
Sure.
awesome.
Sounds good.
Hey everyone, it's Paul here. You should check into Conversations in Newmarket with Neighbor, where we've got exciting information going around with neighbors, what they're up to, from businesses to charities to not-for-profits to event organizers. And stay tuned on a weekly basis to see what we're up to. See you there.
Hey everybody, Bill here with Market Brewing, and yes, it's been some weird times, but at Market Brewing, whether you're coming in for a beer to go or to hang out in our tap room or on the patio, we've done everything we can to make sure it's comfortable for you with safety in mind. Hey, if you're into the beers, that's probably one of the reasons you're coming by. Our brewers have done an excellent job of keeping up with cool new weekly releases and an eclectic mix and nice variety of delicious fresh beers. We're also making sanitizer on site as well, which was commended by the Ontario government to help out our community and help other businesses get started and get back in action. On top of that, if you come on by, we always have some fun events to look forward to. On Tuesdays, we do trivia. Thursdays, bingo. Friday, our local music series with Snap. And on Saturday, we have live music during the afternoon as well. And we know not everybody is comfortable coming out to these public events when we're open. So on Sundays, we're dedicating them to smaller private reservations. You can book a birthday, retirement, wedding, shower, baby shower, you name it. Any of those important life events, you can do them in the Market Brewing Tap Room. And with that being said, you can always expect to find a cool food truck or chef there. Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, you can bring in your own food. You can come with your dog. The sky's the limit. Our priority, though, is safety for our guests. And then we're going to have some fun times ahead. We look forward to seeing you in the tap room.
Okay, guys, we're back. We took a break there, and wow, did we really got rolling with investing and passive investing. Now, you said something there that really intrigued me, because you've got the everyday investor, and I think your show has been focused around real estate, but you talk stocks there for a second. The only reason it intrigued me is because I've kind of been dipping a little bit, not much.
Yeah.
And I wanted to talk to you about that. Like, what are you doing? Like, is it just kind of your own personal jumping on Quest Trade, Wealthsimple, or are you doing your own? Like, what are you doing there? Like,
Well, yeah, I mean, most of all, I'm just learning about it.
yeah, same with me. That's what I'm trying to.
But my 19-year-old's trading, and he's doing 4% a month. I have someone trading it for me, and it's been about 4% a month.
Really?
For the last 5 months. Stock options. I didn't even know what that is.
So it's an option of like Apple or Amazon, right? You take a small.
Yeah. So I mean, it's overly complicated, and my goal with the Everyday Investor Show, and I'm sure like this, if I can't teach it to a high school senior,
Yeah.
I'm not teaching it right.
Yeah.
So that's why you haven't seen it on the show yet, but you will.
Okay.
And I'll start teaching it. But basically, within these stock options, it can be so risky. I think 97% of it's risky. But there's a portion where you're just selling the option, kind of like rent to own in real estate. You're just selling the option and you get a premium. So think of it as being an insurance. So we all have insurance. We all pay premiums, car insurance, home insurance. And regardless of what happens, the insurance company still gets my money.
Yeah.
So in the same way, I am selling people options. They pay me a premium. And if it goes the wrong way, the worst case scenario is now I own that stock. And so I only do it very conservatively on the best dividend paying top 10, 15 stocks. I sell those. But yeah, go onto Google, and the exact wording would be selling naked puts. Selling
Seriously?
naked
You're not
puts.
sending me something. I don't know if I should be going on Google.
That's
selling
offline.
naked puts. I don't know. She might get upset.
That's offline. No, naked just simply means you don't own the stock.
Okay.
You don't
You
own
own
the
like
stock.
a what? You own a portion of it,
You
or
don't own any of it. I'm just selling the premium. I don't own anything. So selling naked puts,
Okay.
in my opinion, That's all you should be doing, and very conservative, and only with the best companies.
Yeah.
Because you might end up owning it, and then there's another strategy.
And then now you own it.
Then there's another strategy called selling a covered call, and those are the only two things that I believe in.
Yeah.
Selling a naked put, if you end up owning that stock, selling a covered call, and that's how you get out.
Now, is this a complete change for everyday investor, or is this just going to be a small segment? Like, are you still going to focus real estate, or?
Oh yeah, no. This is
just like one segment or one or two segments.
This is just one vehicle.
Just another way of investing your money, right?
That's right.
Like that's exactly.
Right. I've always been real estate.
Yeah.
And this is just another vehicle in terms of if somebody's interested to looking at it. You know, it's hard. It's complicated in my opinion.
Yeah.
It is. I'm not that dumb. I'm not the smartest guy, but I'm not that. And it's.
There's so much information out there, right? Like, so when I'm looking up stocks, now I got lucky on one stock where it's like I bought it for $1.60 and now I just sold it at $8. Like, so it did very well.
Yeah.
But I've lost on other ones, right? So now I'm going to look into this stock options.
So this is
right?
different. So you're buying
I'm just buying actual
stocks.
shares.
This is just options.
Okay.
Options.
I've heard of this.
Completely different.
I've heard of it. Yeah. Okay. That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. So I'm going to look into that. There was another thing that I was reading.
Selling naked.
I know.
I just want to look at you and say that.
I know.
Yes.
He's like, just go into Google, selling naked puts.
Yes.
And what?
I wasn't sure if you were joking.
Do you know what type of show this is?
I mean, it's kind of hot in here a little bit. Maybe take your shirt off. I think you could.
Honestly.
We're having a lot of fun in here today, boys.
Man, is it? You said, and I've been kind of obviously reading and checking things out and seeing what you're doing. You said some interesting stuff about your son and what he's kind of done, and he's been through various roles and various careers, and you were and I found it quite interesting. And to be honest, when I first came to the office, I wasn't in real estate, and Rav was like, you got to get in real estate. Like, you got to do it. Like, this is something that you have to do. And I did. And obviously it's been.
But do you remember why? Do you know why I said that?
I remember in my head you saying you have to get into real estate.
But there's a reason. I don't say that to anybody.
I don't know. Well, because of family's in.
No, because you guys have, both of you. You guys are great people.
Oh.
And the number one thing when it comes to anything is trust.
Yeah.
And so within seconds, I'm like, this is my brother, you know, from another mother, and you too, you know, and we didn't know each other, and you reached out to me and, hey, can you marry us? And I just said,
there was like an instant connection.
Oh no,
wasn't
absolutely,
there? You felt that
absolutely.
way. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I just said that, hey, people need to be taken care of, and you can maybe have more than craft dinner if you want. By helping them, and it's a win-win.
Yeah.
And so that's why I said you would be perfect, because I trust you instantly, and I think people would. So
I think it's a genuine thing too. Like you love it, right? Like it's kind of like in your blood, right? And I think it was kind of always going to be your path. You just did a few things along the way, which I think has been a great support for you, no
working
matter
at
what,
Dell,
right?
And now, you know, the real estate has been awesome, right? Like, so for me, it's always been, I'm very work. And that's, even though my dad's very simple life, he's still very work. He's at the office. He'll be there Saturday. He might even go in Sunday, right? Like, so he's very work driven. I'm very work driven, but I'm also, with real estate, it does give me the time to cut off early and go pick up my son and go golfing, or take him, be his head coach. I'm his head coach of his baseball team, right?
Good.
Yeah.
Getting out, bringing my daughter to dance, things like that, like just going away for tournaments, spending time with the family.
And having the better half, having Erin, work now with you. I mean, I saw your signature email and helping out with marketing and all the kind of stuff.
And the next phase for her is...
For years, he's been saying, you got to get your license. And I kept moving away from it, but I keep coming back to it, don't I? How many times have I come back to it?
No, she's like, 2 weeks ago, she's like, yeah, I'm going to get it. And I'm like, okay, I've heard this many times.
Sinead got it. She got it, and it was for two reasons. One, it's great for tax purposes.
Yes.
Right? Because now then I can pay her now 50% of, as opposed to just whatever an administrator would make.
Yeah.
And then secondly, when my, women friends
Yeah.
would want to just go shopping,
Yeah.
meaning look at houses.
Of course. Yeah.
I was like, come on. Okay, honey, can you get your license and take your friends out and look at homes?
Yeah.
Because, you have those guys too, right?
Oh, no, absolutely.
They're not
I want
interested
to check
in
out this
buying.
house
Of course.
on my street.
I want to be the nosy neighbor. And
I do it sometimes too myself. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, you want to see. Everyone's interested about real estate in their area.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any client I call, past client, how's things going? Oh, that house just down the street, what did it sell for? And it makes sense. You want to know. Like, you've invested in, you've bought this home, obviously for your family. But let's face the facts. Everyone wants, that investment to grow, right? They want to know, I bought it for $200. It's now worth $400, right? Like, they just want to know that. They want to have that understanding. But yeah, so it's
great.
It'll be interesting to see if
Well,
she
I'm
actually
looking.
does it.
No, I absolutely the new program.
Well, there's a new program right now, right? Probably it's at Humber, and
Was it a 1 year or 2 year?
it's completely different. It's 2 year, but I think you can get it done in 1 year.
Okay.
Yeah. It's based on your own. However, it's like 5 courses, and I think you have 24 months to.
Yeah, it's
to complete
completely-
it.
So that's why, back to my son, that's why he got his license prior to
Yes.
the Humber. There's something about me. It's right and wrong. I don't like to share a lot about what I do or my kids do, or just because at the risk of sounding arrogant. I definitely don't want that. Like,
No,
I know
but
what
it's not.
But I think also it's wrong because it's an injustice that I'm not. Then therefore I could be helping people. And so I've never shared about my son. I did put a post out there, and I think that's probably what
That's
you're referring
exactly
to.
what I'm
And it was like
referring to.
one or two, and the reason why I did that is because I felt my heart broke for so many parents during COVID that said, I don't know if I want to send my kid to school.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who cares?
Yeah.
Don't send them.
Yeah.
And so what I shared was, we've been world schooling, homeschooling, unschooling, doesn't matter.
Everything.
Whatever
Yeah.
it's called.
That's it.
Life hacking, who cares what it's called? Our whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My kids do school Tuesday to Friday, 4 hours a day, reading, writing, little math.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. So my son doesn't even have his grade 9 education. But at 12, he built a computer from scratch.
Yeah.
At 13, he's working on car engines. At 16, when we renovated our house top to bottom, he worked with a general contractor for the year.
Yeah.
Wow.
I said, go get your real estate license so maybe we'll flip a house one day.
Yeah.
He's trading stock options right now. He's
And you
20
said he's
on
doing
Sunday.
well, right? He's doing 4 or
4% a month. Yeah.
Wow.
And then he watched Suits and did
Great show, by the way.
and
Just
then
absolutely.
I've never
fabulous
seen it,
show.
but he watched Suits, and then he did his real estate license, and there's a law part of it.
Yeah.
And he said, Dad, law's intriguing to me, right? And I have one rule. You do it for 4, 5, 6 months, whatever you're doing, sports, anything,
Yeah.
and quit if you don't like it.
Yeah.
In fact, I want you to quit if you don't like it. And so he said, I've got to go to university, and I don't even have my grade 9. So you just write the GED. So he got the GED. I don't even know what it means. General equivalency diploma or education
General
diploma.
education
Yeah.
diploma.
Something.
Something. Yeah. Yep.
He wrote it, got 80 something, applied to York, got in, didn't get into criminology, but it doesn't matter. You need 4 years anyways. So he's taking law and society.
Nice.
And I said, it's not 4-year course. It's a 4-month course. If you like it after 4 months, then you do the second 4
Yeah.
months. And so that's just,
That's good. I like that
what
philosophy,
he's
though.
been doing. And I'm a big believer, as long as they're not lazy, as long as they're, the most important thing is the spiritual aspect, the moral aspect. It's not intellect. It's not the physicality and play for the NHL. It's not, these things. If they're really good people and have emotional intelligence, which translates into relational intelligence and
Absolutely.
can communicate, and those are the things to work on. And if we love them and apologize often as parents, and kids will be fine.
They will.
Yeah.
Who
I know.
cares about this stuff, man? I wish I was raised on a farm at 13, and my favorite show is Little House on the Prairie. Man, I love that lifestyle. So again, to each their own. I'm not saying everybody should, do this, but we're able to go to India for 2 years in a row and serve the poor there for a couple of months while my kids, did their school online or
which I believe is very important. Though
100%,
that is always, I believe, is more important
to that
than
with the kids.
you know, like I mean,
too.
just traveling
Yeah,
and
just-
helping and you know, giving back. Like I'm on the chair at the food pantry.
yeah, it's great.
I can't bring Quinn, but I bring Preston over there as much as possible. Let's start working. Like, and he loves it. Like, he'll come out. We were just over at Metro. He was there all day with me, just helping, kind of help people, give back. Like, it's just one of those things where we've always instilled that, like, kind of give back to the community.
And the excitement that they have, too, when we do our golf tournament every year.
Absolutely.
And the kids want to be there and they want to help out. I mean, that's the real life lesson, right? With kids,
and I think that's it, Erin. It's not something, as an addition to. No, that is life.
That's it.
Yeah.
Geography and science and math and history, that's the additional.
That's it.
But what you say, humanity, loving, selfless, giving, you know what I mean, of yourself, it really is blessed to give than to receive. And if they can grow up that, my kid plays video games all the time. Okay. So is he playing by himself or is there interaction? No, there's interaction. And what's he playing? Minecraft. Oh, so he's building something. Like, awesome. Let him play video games. Let her play. You know what I mean? Like,
we've been battling it back and forth, and we've gotten to the point where we're like, we still want Preston to, you know, get out and get some fresh air. But he loves baseball, but he's really loving his Fortnite, right? Yeah. So, and we've let him. We're just like, you know what?
He's him so happy,
especially during this time where he can't go over to a buddy's house. We can't travel. We can't really do much.
Yeah.
He's there. He's talking to his buddies. They've got a section on Fortnite where it's called Creative, and they're creating these buildings and stuff and cities. And I'm like, that's great.
And so now Preston's like the biggest, architect in the GTA one day.
Seriously,
perhaps.
Honestly,
well, that's
perhaps.
it.
That's true. You never know.
I preach to my children, to everybody.
Yeah.
Get bored with the Lord. What that means is, we think bored is a bad thing. That's where creativity comes. Like, have enough margin in life to just think and go for a walk and make a fire or walk the new dog and Dad, I'm bored. Good. You've arrived.
Yeah.
And that's where genius comes in. And I'm just so afraid for, society now. Like, kids can't even do an interview. It's texting. They can't look in the eyes and so
I know.
Anyways.
It's like they don't know how to engage.
Yeah.
No,
I know.
Yeah. Wow. So anyways, that's the Samuel
That's great.
Story. And Olivia, she knew from, because he doesn't know still what he wants. And I said, great.
That's okay.
Who cares?
He's got drive and he's focused, and that's all he really needs right now. Because eventually he'll get to where he's going, right?
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like no matter what he's doing, he's successful at, right? Like that's and he's
most
doing well.
Importantly,
and he's loving
morally,
and
he's good with people, and and so my daughter. She's always known she wants to do something rescue dog-ish.
Oh, good.
Kind of thing, right? And so she's studying the GED right now. You write it when you're 18, and then she may go to college for animal care.
Like a animal care veterinarian.
Not so much vet, but more the adoption
like an animal
matching,
rescue
the rescue, but matching the owners with the dog, helping the dogs emotionally adjust because they've been abused and.
Her sister's very, very much into that too. She's been involved with animals, and she
started a co-op placement when she was like, I don't know, 15 or 16 in a veterinarian clinic. Yeah,
we called her when we were getting the dog, and I'm naming off breeds, and she's like,
well, we wanted
she just
to.
knew everything.
We were new to this and thought, well, like we want to be able to, find a home for a dog that will love being with us, like, there's certain breeds out there that are, you have to just kind of, do they like kids? Do they not like kids? Right. Yeah. I mean, Quinn has not put this puppy down. She just carries it around like it's her little baby. And so we're always like, honey, you got to put it down every once in a while.
Just a little bit. Let it run around. Yeah. She
but
loves
it's my
it.
baby,
And you know what I noticed with the boys? We have a lab.
Yeah.
A black lab, is the empathy. Now it teaches them how to be empathetic and just to love, and give to that dog, and
it's
amazing.
Yeah, it is so amazing. Honestly, that is so true.
We can see it in Preston too when he comes home.
Preston's always been very empathetic.
Yeah, and he's not very as obsessed with the dog as Quinn. He's still
like, oh, I'm afraid I'm gonna hurt it.
Yeah,
that's
his demeanor. Oh no, I know.
Just wait, and you'll see. And it's a secret. It's not gonna be in front of everybody. It's just gonna a little kiss, a little.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's wonderful to watch.
Yeah. Good. Well, that he has the screenshot of his little nephew on his phone, a little picture of him and his little nephew Landon's like 8 months now or something.
Yep.
And I said, buddy, when did you take that picture? He goes, last week. And I said, that's the sweetest thing.
Oh, yeah. And she cried. And
so cute.
Well, he's got a picture of the dog now on his
screen,
on his computer, right? That. So
beautiful.
Now,
I mean, I wish they could live 30, 40, 50. That's sad. Like when.
Oh, no, I know. I don't know.
But they'll be older. It's a puppy. And usually it's 12, 13 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what they've said for having this breed. It's about 12, 13, maybe a little bit older, but about that. Yeah. So,
Good. Cool. Yeah, so that's it. I mean, just, it's trying to spend as much time with family and friends, doing Everyday Investor and teaching that. I mean, I did the acting thing and still do a little bit. Doing the church thing and teaching people how to make money, and mostly passively. And if you can, it's not that hard to make 10%, 12%, 25, 30%, even passively at times, right? If I'm watching, listening to this and I'm like, I like the Cartwrights and I trust them. And I'm sure I could go on title on an investment property, put up the money, and if you guys were open to it, you do the work and we split the profits 50-50. And, just on an investment property, you make 25% annualized between it going up on a conservative 3%, going up in value, paying down mortgage, maybe a little cash flow. You divide that against the 20% that you're in for. Year one, it's 25%, right?
Yeah.
So if Chris were to take care of that for me, and I was to go on title and put up the money, I don't mind splitting 12, 13, 15%, with you.
I don't mind either.
So
we could have just done something here.
No, but that's what I'm saying when people are, because I don't want anyone watching to feel stuck. Like, how do I get involved? So get involved with a joint venture relationship with somebody who's willing to do the work.
Exactly. And that's what I was going to say, because you hear all these, even Scott does it. Like, there's a lot of these commercial and Facebook ads. Invest without any money, right? Yeah. And that's that idea, right? That joint venture. Someone else puts up the money, you take care of everything, and you guys kind of split whatever the split is. Is that?
Yeah, I mean, so that means if I invest with no money, there's a difference between investing without my money, because I can also borrow money. For example, you buy a place for $900,000.
Yep.
You put 20% down, so 180, call it 200, and then put 300 into it. So now I'm $500,000, but it got appraised for 1.4. So bought for 9, put in 300, 1.2, appraised at 1.4. I make 200,000.
Yeah.
But I borrow that 500,000, right? The down payment plus the renovation.
Plus the renovation.
So I borrow. I'll pay out 10%.
Like a private lender type.
Private lender, 10%. Why would I pay that much? Because it's quick money.
Well, you're gonna.
I made 200. I don't mind paying out 50.
Yeah.
So you make 150.
You make 150. It works out anyways.
So that's just something where not using my own money.
Yeah.
Now, if I don't have money, then I've got to do the work.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is I find people have money, but to get in the investment game, they don't have the time, energy, know-how. So if Chris was willing, I mean, we never talked about this before, so I'm just making it up. Maybe you are.
Absolutely.
If you are willing?
Yeah.
Okay. So here it is. Rav doesn't have the time, energy, desire. Rav has the ability to buy an investment property, so says RBC. Mm-hmm. So says our friend Kwai at RBC.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Rav has the ability to buy an investment property, so I'll go on title. Rav has the money for an investment property, 20% down. So Chris, will you find it, manage it, do all the work, and we will split those profits 50-50 with just an average inflation of 3% on the property, debt reduction, paying down the mortgage at today's rates, and a little bit of cash flow just for maintenance.
Yeah.
that will spit out with their 20% down. That will spit out about 25% a year, even more if it's an up down.
Yeah,
if you have a
exactly.
basement apartment.
Yeah.
But let's just call it 25 to 30% a year.
Yeah.
So Rav makes 12.5 to 15%. You make 12.5 to 15%. We'll revisit in 5 years.
See
if
where
if
it's
we want
at.
to get out, refinance, pull our money. So that's just a typical basic
Yeah.
way how somebody can get into real estate without doing the work, how you can get into real estate without having any money because you're doing the work.
Yeah, and our money is the sweat equity. We're doing all the work.
Of course.
Yeah, exactly.
It's huge.
Yeah, that's great.
Right? That's huge.
Okay, so we'll have to talk. We'll have to talk after this.
Well, I would create a website that says Invest with Chris, and you have a few things. I mean, you guys have tons of investment, Mikey, and you know what I mean? So you've been doing it, so you just put a few of these homes. Here's what they've returned for us. Who's not calling the Cartwrights to do this, right?
Yeah.
No brainer.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So
you owe me $100,000 for this, for that little plug for you. Just kidding. No, but that's really how I wanted to explain to people. That's how you get in the game.
But that's exactly it, right? That's the idea, right? That's obviously the idea of your show, but that's the idea is educating people, right? Letting them know that there are different options. You don't have to just try to save up especially now, you know, you're investing, you don't have to just try to save up 200,000 or 300,000 or even 500,000, whatever it is. There's other options out there for you where you'll still make money. Yes, obviously you put your own money in, you put your own sweat equity in, you're going to make more, but that's not always an option. And it's not an option for a lot of people.
And I just think that
for the
it's an injustice because they're not doing a service to themselves because they wanted to do this to have more time with family, friends, and perhaps a purpose greater than themselves, right? Yeah. But now I can't because now I have so much going on over here, right?
Yeah.
And so we can't be greedy. Like, my accountant would say to me, Rav, a cow gets fed, but a pig gets slaughtered. Be a cow. It's my accountant. Yeah. But he said, be a cow, but don't be a pig. Yeah. In the same way, I don't want 25% return on investment with headache.
Yeah.
I want 12.5%. Chris, let's talk every few months. How's it going?
Yeah, that's great. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I think we're close to wrapping up, but what's the future? Do you plan for future? Or you just live day by day? What's your thoughts? Are you going to keep going with the show?
Do you have a new place up north? We were chatting about that. Are you on the water? Where are you?
Yeah, so there's a little secret in the promised land of Brampton.
Okay.
I thought I'd go.
Oh yes,
I thought I'd go see my people.
Okay.
And it's called Professor's Lake. So it's a 60-acre lake.
Beautiful.
Spring fed, and so we have 80 feet right on the lake. And but it's my therapy. I like I said in the beginning, I went through a neuro breakdown about 5 years ago, and I wasn't really working that much, but it was just more in around my OCDs of my kids are growing up too quick and what's life about. And, so now I walk the lake, I play with my dog, I made a fire last night with neighbors, and that's my life more.
Yeah. Slowed things down and made life simple, just like we were talking about. I think that is so important. Right?
Yeah,
it is. Yeah. Well, because especially today, everything's fast moving, fast paced.
Well, we've been forced to slow
but now
things down.
Absolutely with COVID, it's actually just made everyone go, okay, hey, hold on, slow down here, stay at home, chill, relax.
We love the lake, the fires.
Oh yeah, that's
the walks in the forest.
We try to our summers. We try to spend as much time, especially even this summer. We try to spend as much time kind of with the family, with our friends.
Great.
Up north. Yeah. We were just up at her sister's house over Halloween. Like it was.
I love it.
For us, fire, water, lake, family, friends.
Neighbors.
Right
now it's a time you go for walks. Now you get deeper into your neighbor's life and vice versa outside. And,
absolutely. Just everything, right?
It's a great thing. But no plans for the future. Just really walking with my 20. I mean, the older they get, the harder it still gets, right? I mean, and now you have to shape they say we're not fully, functioning till you're 25, 30, right? So walking with my kids, simplechurch.ca, everydayinvestor.com, still building that brand and helping people. But,
family,
friends. Just that's not much. That's 5-10 hours a week and the rest enjoying and trying to.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love it. Okay, well, listen, I think I don't know about you.
It's
been awesome.
You,
like
honestly.
it's been.
I love you guys,
and
love
you.
We really appreciate you coming here and taking your time out and sitting and chatting with us. It's been awesome, honestly. Like
likewise,
truly has been amazing. And I know for me, even me, I've learned a couple things. And, I think there's things not just from an investment standpoint,
some life lessons.
There's some things that I'm going to take away from that and just be like, you know what, he's right.
Yeah,
like,
he is right.
There's certain things that we've got to just relax.
Me and wifey had a talk before, so she was like, can you drill Chris with a couple of Just kidding. No, I love you guys, and you guys are, your marriage, your parenting, your business, so worthy of imitation, and thanks for giving me the pleasure to do this with you.
Appreciate
Absolutely.
it. Okay, thanks, Rav.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, thanks. Have a great day.
See you again soon, guys.
Yeah.
Take care.